If you want to fully prepare for PTE core without failure, check out our self-paced course link in the description. We guarantee your improvement, and if you don't see it, get all your money back. More details given in the description. So today we are diving deep into the PTE core reading section. If you have already gone over the individual task, but you want a deeper understanding of the essential concepts and strategies, this video is for you. I'm going to share with you some of the most crucial elements to focus on while reading, along with extended examples to help you understand what I mean. Trust me, these insights will help you not just ace the exam but also become a more skilled reader overall. First one, in PDE core reading, understanding the sentence structure is key to answering correctly. A lot of mistakes come from not recognizing how sentences are constructed. PDE core will test your ability to pick up on these structures to ensure the answer fits grammatically and contextually. Here is an example. Let's say you come across a sentence like this. The professor who has been teaching at the university for 20 years. A lot of books on history and politics. Now, the options might be has written, write, wrote, writing. If you see the phrase has been teaching at the university for over 20 years, which tells us this is a present perfect continuous situation, indicating something that started in the past and continues in the present, right? So you need a verb in the present perfect tense, which describes actions that have happened at an unspecified time before now and are connected to the present. So this leads us to the option has written. And if you choose the option B right, then you would be making a tense mistake because it suggests a simple present action which does not align with the context of the sentence. Similarly, if you choose wrote, it would not work either because it's past simple. And the ongoing teaching implies an action related to the present. Okay, so what you need to remember here is when you see time markers like for over 20 years, think about how the actions connects to the present. You have to focus on the relationship between the subject, verb and time frame in the sentence. Okay, and the next one is vocabulary in context. So PDE core reading will often present you with the challenge of selecting the right word fits within the context of a sentence or passage. This can be tricky because while many words might seem inappropriate, the correct word always depends on the surrounding text and the meaning being conveyed. For example, consider this sentence from a passage about environmental sustainability. The rapid deforestation is a serious problem and it poses a great so and so to biodiversity. And the options could be advantage, threat, opportunity, contribution, which is the correct option, the option B, threat. You have to think about the meaning. The sentence is talking about deforestation, which is typically a negative concept when it comes to environmental impact. Therefore, the word advantage or opportunity would not make sense in this context, right? The word that fits best is threat, as it aligns with the idea that deforestation harms biodiversity. Okay, so if you take the word advantage, that would imply a positive result, which contradicts the idea of environmental harm. If you have taken the word threat, then it correctly reflects the danger that deforestation represents. And if you look for the word opportunity contribution, both imply something beneficial, which does not fit the negative tone of the passage. So remember to read the whole sentence or passage to gauge the tone and context. And be careful with words that seem similar but carry different connotations in different contexts. Okay? Now let's move on to the next concept, reading for detail and inference. Reading for details and making inference are very essential for PTE core reading section. You will often be required to understand not just the literal meaning of a passage, but also to read between the lines and grasp deeper implications or assumptions. So here is an example. The government has launched an array of initiatives aimed at tackling the growing concern of air pollution in major urban areas. These efforts include stricter emissions regulations, increased public transportation options, and awareness campaigns aimed at reducing vehicle usage. Despite these measures, however, the results have been less than expected due to the lack of enforcement and the continuing growth of industrial activities. And here's the question: why have the government's efforts have been unsuccessful? The correct inference is the government efforts were insufficient due to the lack of enforcement and continuing industrial activities. Okay, so remember to infer meanings from the entire passage. Sometimes the true answer lies not just in what's said, but in what's not said directly. It's implied. Okay, so you have to look for words like despite, however, and although. They signal contrast and are key to understand the deeper meanings. Now, the next concept is identifying the main ideas and supporting details. Because in many PDE core reading tasks, you will be asked to identify the main idea or summarize a passage. This means you need to quickly find the central theme and then distinguish the supporting details that back it up. So, here is an example. Renewable energy is increasingly being recognized as vital solution to the world's energy problems. Solar, wind, and hydropower are the primary forms of renewable energy that have garnered much attention in recent years. These energy sources offer a cleaner alternative to fossil fuels, which are responsible for significant environmental degradation. Governments and corporations alike have begun to invest heavily in renewable energy infrastructure in an effort to reduce carbon footprints and combat climate change. Okay, so if you see here, the main idea of the passage is the growing importance of renewable energy in combating climate change and environmental damage. Now, if you're asked to choose the supporting details, you would focus on specifics like the types of renewable energy like solar, wind, hydropower, the impact, the cleaner alternative to fossil fuels, and the efforts. That means the investments from governments and corporations, right? So, what you need to remember here is the main idea is the core concept the passage revolves around, and the supporting details will expand upon the main idea by providing examples, facts, and additional information. Got it? So, this is how you have to take the main idea and the supporting details from the given passage. Now, let's move on to the next concept: time management and skimming scanning techniques. Time management is very crucial in PDE core reading section. You need to practice skimming, that means reading quickly for general meaning, and scanning, which means looking for specific information. So these techniques help you quickly gather the main points and answers. Let's see an example here. So, in longer passage, you might be asked a question about a specific detail, but you don't have time to read the entire text in depth. Instead, use scanning. You have to focus on keywords in the question. Look for those keywords in the passage. Don't waste time on every word. Just zoom in on the critical pieces of information. For example, if the question asks about the effects of certain policy and the passage discusses multiple policies, you can skip to the section where that specific policy is mentioned and focus only on the relevant parts. So what you need to remember here is you have to practice skimming to get the gist of the passage, and you have to practice scanning to locate the specific answers quickly. And that's a wrap. If you can master these concepts: sentence structure, vocabulary in context, reading for inference, identifying main ideas, and managing your time effectively, you'll be well on your way to acing the PTE core reading section. Remember, it's all about reading with purpose and understanding the deeper nuances in each text. Keep practicing, stay patient, and watch your reading comprehension skills grow. If you want to fully prepare for PTE Core without failure, check out our self-paced course link in the description. We guarantee your improvement, and if you don't see it, get all your money back. More details in the description. Thanks for watching this video. Bye-bye.